Hello everyone, this is Greg K4HSM, and as I published the previous video that went out just a few minutes ago, I got the latest weather briefing from the National Weather Service, and there have been a few updates, so we'll go over them. The big takeaways are that it looks like some of this weather is going to come in a little bit later into Saturday. It was predicted that it would be starting around the 7 a.m. mark, but a lot of these ice warnings, the winter weather advisory and winter storm warnings have been shifted to later in the afternoon from Saturday 1 o'clock until Sunday. Freezing rain and sleet remain the predominant winter impacts and not the snow. That seems to be more up towards the border of the Kentucky and Virginia state lines. They are getting more and more concerned about winds and the higher elevations and the mountains. So, high wind warning was introduced yesterday, and it's going to take effect from 7 o'clock Saturday night until 7 o'clock Sunday night. And very cold temperatures throughout the week next week. They were talking about a little bit of a warming trend before the next cold front comes in, but it looks like temperatures are going to be pretty chilly all through next week. So here are your warnings and advisories. The ice storm warnings in purple throughout the valley here, up and down the 75 corridor. Then you have the high wind warning in mustard color on the mountains of Tennessee, on the Tennessee side. On the leeward side into North Carolina, it looks like they're just sticking with the ice storm warnings. Winter weather advisory for the counties that are along the North Carolina state line, those that are not in the mountains themselves. Everywhere else to the west and north of us is under a winter storm warning. The big dangers are power outages and travel issues. With the amount of ice that could fall, it doesn't matter if it's a lot or a little, it could wreak havoc on infrastructure. So definitely be careful as the ice starts to fall tomorrow in the form of freezing rain or sleet. So again, from 1 p.m. Saturday to Sunday, 7 o'clock is the ice storm warning. Accumulations of a quarter or a half an inch are possible throughout all of these areas under the warning. With the winter storm warning, it's pretty much counties north of Knoxville, basically above I-40 here in East Tennessee. When you get to the plateau, it's a little bit more broad into the southern areas, but along north of I-40 and west of I-81 up until you get to Tri-Cities. And it's looking like a winter weather advisory, not as severe, but basically all the counties down alongside the mountains are under this winter weather advisory. Once you get over the mountain into North Carolina, it looks like a lot of that precipitation is going to turn into freezing rain and ice situations in areas like Asheville and the upstate area of South Carolina. And here's the high wind warning again, higher elevations on the Great Smoky Mountains and to up into upper East Tennessee, all the way down into Murphy, North Carolina. They're now saying that winds are possible to gust up to 80 miles an hour in areas such as Cove Mountain. I would assume that Clingman's Dome area and Mount LeConte would probably also be susceptible to 80-mile-an-hour winds. If a lot of these trees and foliage are covered in ice and weighed down by ice, then these high 80-mile-an-hour gusts could definitely cause a lot of branches to come down. So travel and power up in the mountains is definitely going to be affected. As for the timing, it does look like things have gone a little bit further into the afternoon on Saturday. So here in Knoxville, it looks like some things were going to start originally around 6 a.m., but it now looks like it's moved to 9 a.m., between 9 a.m. and noon, and it goes on until Monday afternoon. In Bristol, it looks also kind of the same. Kind of the same pattern, only just a little bit later. Starts as snow, then a wintry mix, then to rain, and then back to a wintry mix, and then to snow. Chattanooga is going to have a little bit of snow, then a significant wintry mix, and then it goes to rain, and then back to a little bit of snow. Ice accumulations are somewhat consistent with what they were the last time that I put the last video out, which was the briefing from this morning. It looks like a lot of the higher elevations in the plateau areas are going to still get upwards of a quarter to a half inch of ice. That could affect us here in the northern parts of Knox County, basically along the I-40 line and northward is affected by the larger amounts of ice. The southern areas up down into the mountains, into Gatlinburg and Greenville, up in the upper East Tennessee areas, down into Cleveland and the Oswald Mountain area. Looks like they're only going to get upwards of a quarter of an inch, which is still a significant amount and can cause some power outages. And it looks like this ice accumulation will be late Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning, so travel would definitely not be recommended. As for snowfall, it's still looking like there's not going to be a whole lot of snow. Uh, Kind of the same here in Knoxville as it was the last time, upwards of an inch of snow. Hardly anything down in the Chattanooga area. Then you get up into Tri-Cities, kind of 1 to 2 inches, and then you get up closer to the Kentucky and to the north and western parts, you start to see higher accumulations. Along the state line, it doesn't look as significant as it was earlier, but there is still the possibility that they could get upwards of 1 to 2 inches here, according to the forecast. And again, with a quarter inch of ice, you have this black ice issue likely. You have a lot of hazardous travel on the roads. With black ice, the roads look wet. It looks like water until you run over it, and then you try to turn the wheel, and it doesn't want to turn. So if you don't have to travel, please don't. And here's an updated temperature chart, and it looks like here in Knoxville they'll be in the 30s, a little bit above the freezing level Sunday afternoon. Then at the evening hours it could get up to 45, and then it's going to plummet and stay below freezing throughout the rest of the week. It's almost the same for Chattanooga. They're going to have pretty much similar temperatures. They may have a couple of days where they get a temperature range above freezing, but only for a little bit. So I just wanted to come out and do a real quick video on that, just let you know what the latest update is. There's some changes to it. It looks like there is a shift between getting the precipitation later into Saturday than was originally predicted. And it's starting to look like the further this goes along, the less likely we could get some serious icing, but that's just my opinion. As we go along into the day tomorrow, we'll certainly know what the situation is going to be like. The next briefing is scheduled for tomorrow morning, probably in the early morning hours, like around 4 a.m. We'll try and be up and at 'em around daybreak tomorrow. We'll try and be on the repeater at a good time in the morning to start taking reports. And again, you can listen to us on Broadcastify if you don't have a radio handy. You can also tune in to the 9.4 repeater if you have a scanner or a radio and listen in. And hopefully it doesn't turn into as severe a situation as it could have been. But we'll know more come tomorrow night. So stay safe, and hopefully it won't affect you as much as what they were originally predicting. So thanks again. Have a great night, and we'll probably be talking to you tomorrow.